So Jarrell Miller shows Dillian the Bum Slayer White exactly how effective pressure and smothering is able to effectively wilt and break down a guy who's 6'7". Mariusz Wach basically got broken down against Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Jarrell Miller has this amazing ability to break his opponent down because he's all up in his opponent's grill. He doesn't give them a time to breathe. He never gives them a time to breathe, and this is why they mentally capitulate. This is his second back-to-back fight where he's made a guy quit. He made 6'6" Gerald Washington quit, and he just made 6'8" Mariusz Wach quit under the exact same consistent pressure. My prediction came true. I said in my prediction that Jarrell Miller was going to be the first guy to stop Mariusz Wach, because unlike the guys like Vladimir Klitschko or Alexander Povetkin, the only guys to beat Mariusz Wach, by the way, elite heavyweights, they were just going headshots. Vladimir Klitschko was throwing straight punches down the pipe. Mariusz Wach has an iron chin, and someone like Alexander Povetkin was throwing left hooks, and he was taking everything that Mariusz Wach had to that Alexander Povetkin had to offer. When it came to Jarrell Big Baby Miller, he was doing a combination where he was throwing hooks, but he was also going to the body. And if you look at this fight, the entire fight, you could see signs of distress in Mariusz Wach. He looked very uncomfortable. He was showing he looked like he was in a lot of pain, and he was in a lot of pain because he was getting hit with body punches. He was getting hit to the side of the head. He was getting hit with uppercuts. He was getting hit with liver shots. He was getting hit in the side of the arms. So as the fight went on, Mariusz Wach started breaking down and mentally capitulating because he was hitting Jarrell Miller with everything but the kitchen sink, and he couldn't keep him off him. And that's why I say it's called effective pressure. Just compare that to someone like Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte just throws these crazy, uppercuts, wild uppercuts, and he doesn't know how to effectively cut the ring off. Jarrell Miller is a guy who's really all up in your face. You could call him slow all you want, but he has this amazing ability to be all up in a guy's grill, and this is why I say he would destroy someone like Dillian Whyte. Now, this is impressive in the matter that Jarrell Miller is only the third guy to beat Mariusz Wach. The only other two guys who beat Mariusz Wach was Vladimir Klitschko, who defended his unified heavyweight champions against him, and Vladimir Klitschko had like 50 professional fights when he fought him, and Alexander Povetkin, who at the time was in his prime and who at the time was considered the boogeyman, and at the time, Alexander Povetkin is one of the biggest punchers at heavyweight. And Alexander Povetkin hit him with everything but the kitchen sink, and it went 12 rounds. The referee stopped it, waved it off in round 12, but that fight could have gone the distance. And this is why this is impressive for Jarrell Miller, because Jarrell Big Baby Miller, this is only his 19th professional fight. He didn't have nowhere near the experience of somebody like Alexander Povetkin or Vladimir Klitschko had. And he was able to stop Mariusz Wach. So a prospect, because if you think about it, Jarrell Miller is basically a prospect. A prospect like Jarrell Miller was able to stop Mariusz Wach, and guys like Vladimir Klitschko and Alexander Povetkin couldn't stop him. So that's impressive right there. Mariusz Wach looked like a beaten man. He tried. He showed a lot of heart, because Mariusz Wach has always had heart. But it was just obvious. I said he was going to outwork Mariusz Wach, and he did. People are sleeping on Jarrell Miller's consistency as a fighter, and they're also sleeping on his chin. Mariusz Wach is the same guy that knocked out Christian Hammer with one punch. That's the same dude who destroyed David Price. He was landing right hands on Jarrell Miller, but he was taking the same right hands that knocked out Christian Hammer with, right? But he was able to take everything. And before you guys say, well, he couldn't brutally knock out Mariusz Wach, that's true, he couldn't. I said in my prediction he was not going to be able to knock him out, because Jarrell Miller is not the biggest puncher at heavyweight. But you could say the same thing about Anthony Joshua. Everybody was saying Anthony Joshua was going to KO Carlos Takam, because Carlos Takam got destroyed and brutally KO'd by a guy named Alexander Povetkin, yet Anthony Joshua couldn't KO him, right? This is impressive because he's the first guy, because like I said, Jarrell Miller is a prospect, and he's the first guy to actually to basically make, Mariusz Wach quit, because at the end of round 9, the corner was like, okay, you're done, one more round. he basically quit. He nodded. He agreed with them. He was like, okay, because he was already a beaten man. Not even Alexander Povetkin made him quit. The referee stopped the fight in the Alexander Povetkin fight. So Jarrell Big Baby Miller became the first guy to basically make Mariusz Wach quit. What more can I say? It's Brooklyn. I keep telling you guys, Jarrell Miller is a problem. He's gonna expose Dillian Whyte if they ever fight. I heard that the commentators kept saying that if this was Anthony Joshua or if this was Deontay Wilder, they would have knocked out Mariusz Wach in 2 rounds. Or they probably would have been able to knock him out. Who's ever knocked out Mariusz Wach? Mariusz Wach has an iron chin. Vladimir Klitschko, who's a bigger puncher than Anthony Joshua and Vladimir, and maybe as big of a puncher as Deontay Wilder, he wasn't able to knock out Mariusz Wach. Alexander Povetkin, who's a massive puncher, he wasn't able to blow out Mariusz Wach. Anthony Joshua went 10 rounds, and he would have gone the distance with Carlos Takam. So if he went the distance with Carlos Takam, trust me, he would have gone the distance, or it probably would have taken him 11 rounds to also stop someone like Mariusz Wach. Dillian Whyte would have gone the distance with Mariusz Wach, because Dillian Whyte would be throwing these wild hooks, because he doesn't know how to throw effective punches, because, you know, he just doesn't know how to fight that, you know, properly. But like I said, you guys keep sleeping on Big Baby Miller, but this guy is phenomenal at inside fighting, and he knows how to break a guy down. That's the thing, the niche with Big Baby Miller. He has this ability to break his opponent's will. To break his opponent's will, because he's all up in your face. And because he weighs so much, 280 pounds, 84 pounds to be exact, it's difficult, you know, it mentally breaks you down as a fighter. And this is why a lot of the fighters wilt. Obviously, in the higher levels, there's going to be guys with hearts. But still, like I said, this is impressive for the fact that this is only his 19th professional fight. So, you know, if you guys are going to go around and clown this guy for not knocking him out, of course, I said he wasn't going to brutally knock him out. I said he was going to stop him with body shots, and he did. He stopped him by breaking him down mentally, and he basically made Mariusz Wach quit because he was shaking his head at the end of round 8, 9, and then the referee stopped the fight, or the doctor stopped the fight because he was complaining that his body was in pain. So, this is what I tell you guys, man. You guys keep sleeping on Jarrell Miller. And imagine if he loses more and more weight. If he actually gets in like 270, 275. He's going to be a massive threat. So, again, guys, keep sleeping on Miller, but he could beat your favorite heavyweight. I'm telling you, you guys laugh at me when I say he could beat Anthony Joshua. He could, because Anthony Joshua is not immortal. And if someone like Takam could go 10 rounds with Anthony Joshua, someone like Miller could definitely go 12 rounds with Anthony Joshua. Miller has, like I said, an underrated chin. He threw really good uppercuts in this fight. He threw really good body shots. In the first round, he was trying to, like, it looked like he was just trying to box because he was throwing a straight right jab and he was, like, going on the back foot. So he was trying to box. But then as the fight went on, he went to his traditional, I'm going to stalk you, break you down, and make you capitulate. And that's exactly what he did. And he wore down. And like I said, he knows how to effectively break a person's will and heart. That's what he did to Jarrell Washington, and that's what he did to Mariusz Wach. He just has this really good ability to do that. Again, that's why I keep saying, if Jarrell Miller would have fought Robert Helenius, he would have done the exact thing to Robert Helenius. He would have stopped Robert Helenius. Because unlike Dillian Whyte, he actually knows how to effectively smother a guy and make a guy wilt under pressure. Again, just compare this to someone like Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte literally throws clumsy hooks. You know, so, yeah, guys, this is easy night's work for Jarrell Miller. Moves on to bigger and better things. And hopefully Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder or Dillian Whyte don't duck him. Because I would love to see all these, especially Dillian Whyte fans, that they think he's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. They think he's Mike Tyson 2.0. He will destroy Dillian Whyte. That's all I have to say, guys. I'm out.